Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Always.
Awesome. Today we're looking at something
Interesting.
totally. It's called One Now 2024 Murli.txt, and it lays out a whole spiritual philosophy.
Okay.
Yeah, and honestly, I've got to say, it's unlike anything I've ever come across before.
Really?
Yeah, for real. Like, it gets into some seriously deep stuff about, like the universe and our place in it, you
Yeah.
know? And one of the things that really jumped out at me
All right.
was this whole idea that you can achieve all these incredible things.
Like what?
Oh, we're talking like super long life.
Oh.
Yeah, total purity.
Okay.
And get this, even becoming a master of a pure world,
Mm-hmm.
like paradise, you know?
Interesting.
Yeah, and they say it all comes down to the power of
Like
remembering.
ignorance.
Yeah, but like, what are we even supposed to be remembering?
It is the question, isn't it?
Right. And how does that even work?
Well, that's where this gets fascinating. The whole text centers around this idea of an incorporeal father, God, who they call the supreme soul, Shiv.
So, not like our dads.
Oh, no, not the kind of father we know in everyday life. This is something else entirely.
Right.
This father exists beyond physical form, but chooses to take on a corporeal form, specifically to interact with us and, well, uplift our souls, I guess you could say.
Okay, so we're talking about remembering a God, a higher power.
Yes.
But like, why would something that powerful even need to take on a physical form?
Right. It's a good question.
Yeah, what's the point of that?
Well, it all ties back to this idea of the cycle of purity and impurity.
Okay.
Imagine souls starting out completely pure.
Like a brand new car.
Oh, yeah, something like that.
All shiny, perfect.
Exactly. Like, picture a perfect piece of gold.
Yeah, okay.
But as souls go through the cycle of rebirth, they start to accumulate impurities.
Oh, so like rust on that gold.
Exactly. The text calls these impurities alloy.
Alloy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So each time we're reborn, our souls get a little less...
And that's the idea.
I can see how that would make connecting with a higher power a little tricky.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where the idea of Raven comes in.
Who's Raven?
Well, think of Raven as like the embodiment of everything negative.
Okay.
All the vicious stuff in the world. It's
Yeah.
like he's the ruler of this impure age we're in.
Like the bad guy.
Yeah, kind of. And all the negativity around us.
Like bad vibe.
Yeah, bad vibes, war, suffering.
Got it.
That's all because of him. Every time we like buy into those negative
Let's
vibes.
do something bad.
Yeah, exactly. We accumulate more alloy on our soul.
So it's not just that we're born into this messed up world.
Right.
We're actively making it worse.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
Wow, and this alloy is like baggage we carry from lifetime to lifetime.
You got it.
That's a pretty heavy thought.
Yeah, no sugarcoating there.
So what do we do?
Well, here's where it gets hopeful. The text offers a solution, remembering the Father.
So just thinking about this supreme soul can, like, purify us.
It's more than just thinking. It's the key to chipping away at that alloy and getting back to our original purity.
So how do we do that? Is it like meditation, mantras?
It doesn't lay out specific steps.
Okay.
It's about a constant awareness of the Father, his qualities, his teachings.
Sounds intense.
It's a commitment.
So less about rituals, more about a deep interconnection,
Exactly.
like a constant spiritual workout.
Yeah, you could say that. But the text argues it's worth it.
Because of all those benefits we talked about.
Right. Remember, long life, immense wealth, mastering a pure world.
Yeah, that's a pretty good incentive. It's almost like a cosmic rewards program, right?
Well, the text definitely focuses on the positive outcomes of aligning ourselves with the Father's will.
So by remembering him, we not only purify ourselves, but also unlock some serious potential.
That's the idea.
Okay, so we've got who this father is,
Right.
why remembering him is so important.
Yeah.
But this 1Novi 2024 Murli.txt also mentions something called the confluence age. This time between the old impure world and a brand new pure one.
It is a fascinating concept.
Yeah, so how does that fit into all of this?
Well, this is where things get mind-blowing.
Okay, hit me.
The confluence age is described as, like, a super rare chance
For what?
for souls to really clean up their act
Yeah.
and become worthy of entering that new, pure world.
And who shows up during this time?
You guessed it, the Father himself. He comes to guide souls through this massive shift towards purity.
So it's not just about me becoming a better person.
No, it's much bigger than that.
Like a universal upgrade.
Exactly. The text suggests that we're all connected.
Like we're all in this together.
Yes. And our choices affect everyone.
Whoa.
The confluence age is a time of huge stakes, but also amazing opportunities.
For those who choose to align with the Father.
Right.
So this OneNove 2024 Murli.txt is like a roadmap for this whole transition.
That's a great way to put it.
But it also seems to, like, challenge a lot of traditional spiritual practices.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, it specifically criticizes bathing in the Ganges for purification.
Yeah.
That's, like, a pretty big deal in Hinduism, right?
It is, and that's what makes this text so interesting. It has this unique, unconventional view of spirituality.
It's not afraid to question established beliefs.
Not at all. It really makes you think.
So true purification comes from remembering the Father, not from rituals.
It's about a direct connection with the divine.
That's pretty bold.
Yeah, but it's a consistent theme throughout the whole text.
Okay, so we've got remembrance, the confluence age, rejecting traditional practices.
Right.
But the text also uses some interesting analogies and stories.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
I'm thinking of the 7 wonders of Maya versus the 1 wonder of the Father.
That one always gets me.
It's a powerful image, right?
It contrasts the fleeting attractions of the material world with the lasting significance of knowing the Father.
So all the amazing stuff in this world can't compare to connecting with a higher power.
It's about shifting our priorities.
Realizing true happiness comes from within.
Exactly. It's not about stuff or achievements.
And there's that story of the king who conquered attachment.
Oh, yeah, that one.
The text uses that to show that true detachment comes from the Father.
And that it's not just about giving up possessions.
Right. It's about detaching from our ego, our desires.
It's about recognizing that our true identity comes from our connection to the Father.
So not becoming a hermit.
No, not at all.
It's about changing our relationship with the world.
Finding peace and freedom within.
I like that.
Yeah.
And what about that river of poison metaphor?
Ooh, that one's pretty intense, right?
It paints a bleak picture
It's meant to be a wake-up call.
about the negativity of this impure age.
Exactly. And the importance of remembering the Father to find purification.
So how do we get out of this river of poison?
Well, that's what we'll be exploring next time.
Fair
Stay
enough.
tuned.
Can't wait. This is really fascinating stuff.
I know, right?
All right. So we've talked about who the Father is.
Right.
This whole cycle of purity and impurity thing.
Yeah.
And how remembering him can help us break free from, like, all the bad stuff.
It's a process.
Definitely. But let's get practical.
Okay.
What does OneNive 2024 Murli.txt actually say we should do? You know, like to navigate this whole confluence age thing.
Well, it's interesting. It doesn't say we should run away from the world or isolate ourselves. It's more about, like, shifting our focus.
Okay.
It encourages us to loosen our grip on old attachments.
So not becoming hermits?
Not exactly.
Okay, so what then?
It's about embracing the new world and the new relationships that are coming.
Like a fresh start.
Yeah, think of it like you're moving to a new city.
Okay.
Would you cram all your old furniture into a tiny apartment when you have a spacious new home waiting?
That's a great analogy.
Right.
So we're decluttering, making space for something better.
Exactly.
But how do we let go of those old attachments?
Well, it starts with developing that third eye of knowledge.
Oh, right. We talked about that.
It's about training ourselves to see beyond the surface.
Like seeing the deeper reality.
Yeah, both within ourselves and in the world.
So rise above the clouds, get a clearer perspective.
Exactly. And the text says that's how we avoid criminal vision.
Criminal vision. What's that?
Think of it as a way of seeing the world that's, like, clouded,
Lie.
negativity, desire, ignorance. You know,
Yes,
it leads to actions that harm ourselves and others.
And that just keeps the cycle of impurity going.
Right.
So the third eye is like our corrective lens.
I like that.
Helps us see things clearly and make better choices.
Choices that are in line with our true purpose.
Okay, that makes sense. But how do we, like, activate this third eye?
The text suggests it's something we cultivate. Practice, conscious effort, a willingness to see things from a higher perspective.
So even if someone seems bad,
Right.
we should still try to see their potential for good.
Exactly. It's about compassion and understanding.
Recognizing that everyone's on their own journey.
We all stumble, we all make mistakes.
The key is to learn and keep moving towards the light.
Well said.
It reminds me of karma.
Interesting connection.
Like, our actions have consequences that shape our future.
There are definitely parallels there.
So by using the third eye,
Yes.
we can create a more positive path for ourselves.
And contribute to a better future for everyone.
It's not just about saving ourselves, it's about helping everyone.
Precisely. Our choices affect the whole cosmic drama.
That's a big responsibility.
It is. But it's also an incredible opportunity.
To make a real difference.
Yes. In our own lives and in the world.
Our choices matter.
More than we realize.
This is reminding me of mindfulness.
How so?
Like observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment.
Detached awareness.
Yeah, exactly. Seeing beyond the illusions of the material world.
The text definitely emphasizes that.
So we need to become more aware of our own thought patterns.
Yes.
And the motivations behind our actions.
Being mindful of why we do what we do.
Right. And question our assumptions.
Challenge the conventional wisdom.
See if our beliefs are actually helping us.
Or just holding us back.
It's a call to, step out of our comfort zones.
And really examine what we believe.
But not necessarily reject everything from the past, right?
It's about taking what's valuable
and
integrating it into a new understanding.
finding a balance between tradition and, moving forward.
Honoring the past while embracing new possibilities.
Sounds tricky.
It is a delicate dance.
But crucial for navigating this confluence age.
And creating a better future.
But the text also acknowledges that this path isn't easy.
Definitely not.
It talks about Maya, that force of illusion
It's a powerful force.
that can distract us from our true purpose.
Easily.
So we always have to be on guard.
The text stresses the need for constant vigilance.
Never let our guard down.
It's an ongoing battle against negativity and vice.
A constant process of purification and refinement. It's not like, okay, I'm pure now, I'm good.
Not quite.
It's a continuous effort.
Always striving for alignment with the Father.
It's a very different mindset from what we're used to.
The world often pushes for instant gratification.
Quick fixes.
But this requires patience.
And perseverance.
It's a long-term commitment to transformation.
Even when we don't see results right away.
Trusting the process.
Okay, so patience, perseverance.
Yes.
But there's one more thing I wanted to ask about.
What's that?
The text mentions becoming naturally beautiful.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
This is where it challenges our usual ideas of beauty.
Okay.
It says true beauty comes from within.
From the purity of the soul.
Exactly. Not from makeup or clothes or anything external.
So not about conforming to society's standards.
No, it's a total shift in perspective.
Recognizing that true beauty is deeper than that.
Timeless, ageless, beyond the physical form.
How do we cultivate this inner beauty?
It's a byproduct of aligning ourselves with the Father's teachings.
Embodying purity, love, compassion.
It emerges naturally from that connection.
So it's not something we force?
No, it's an inner radiance.
That shines through in our actions and how we treat others.
A beauty that transcends time and circumstances.
Oh, that's beautiful. But what about our physical form?
Good question.
Does the text say we should just ignore it?
It doesn't explicitly address that.
Yeah.
But based on its focus on inner purity,
Right.
it seems to suggest that our primary focus should be on our internal state.
Not obsessing over how we look.
It's not about neglecting our physical well-being, but shifting our priorities.
Recognizing that true beauty comes from within.
Exactly. Finding that balance.
Caring for our bodies, but knowing they're temporary.
Vessels for our eternal souls.
It's a very nuanced perspective.
That's what makes this text so fascinating.
It challenges us to think differently.
To question our assumptions.
And consider new ways of seeing ourselves and the world.
It's not about easy answers.
Yeah.
It's an invitation to a journey of self-discovery.
Connecting with a higher power in a way that's meaningful to us.
Exactly.
So we've covered a lot.
We have.
The Father, purity and impurity, remembrance, the third eye, even some practical advice for navigating this whole thing.
Letting go of attachments, becoming naturally beautiful.
But there's one last piece.
Yeah.
Destiny and free will.
Oh, that's a big one.
We'll dive into that after a quick break. All right, so destiny and free will.
Yeah, this is where one of Nov 2024 Murli.txt gets really deep.
Right, it says there's this preordained cosmic drama happening.
A script we're all following.
But we also have the power to choose how we play our roles.
Exactly. To make an effort, remember the Father, and shape our experience.
So it's not like we're just puppets.
No, not at all.
We have choices.
The text definitely suggests that.
But our choices have consequences.
Directions and consequences. It's a big theme.
If we follow the Father's path, things go better.
It leads to positive outcomes, both for us and the collective.
So it's not just about me reaching some individual state of bliss.
It's about recognizing our interconnectedness.
Contributing to a bigger shift towards a better world.
Exactly.
Whoa, it's a lot to think about.
It is, but it's also empowering.
Knowing we can make a difference.
Yes, our choices ripple out and affect everything.
Even the smallest actions matter.
That's the idea.
You know, one thing that really stood out to me,
What's that?
the text says that even people who make promises, who seem dedicated to the path,
Right.
they could still be swayed by Maya,
It's a constant battle.
so we can never really let our guard down.
The text emphasizes the need for constant vigilance,
It's like a continuous process,
Yeah.
always refining ourselves.
striving for alignment with the Father.
It's definitely not once saved, always saved.
No, it's about actively choosing the path again and again.
It's a challenge, but also kind of freeing.
How so?
Like, we're not trapped by our past mistakes or our ego.
It's a chance to connect with something bigger than ourselves.
A source of love, wisdom, power.
That's beautifully put.
So after all of this, what does it mean for us, the listeners?
If we really take 1 Know Your 2024 Murli.txt to heart,
How might it change our lives?
well, for one, it might change how we see the world.
Like seeing the good in everyone.
Exactly. Recognizing the inherent purity in every soul.
It encourages us to use that third eye of knowledge
To make choices based on our highest values.
and contribute to a more compassionate world.
It might also make us rethink our ideas about destiny.
And free will.
We're part of this grand play, but we also have a say in how it unfolds.
It could inspire us to make a conscious effort to remember the Father.
To tap into that infinite love and wisdom within.
That's a powerful thought to end on.
It is, isn't it?
So there you have it, folks. Our deep dive into 1 Novelo 2024 Murli.txt.
It's been a journey.
We explored some amazing concepts, hopefully got you thinking.
It's a lot to process.
But remember, the real journey starts now.
What do you mean?
Now it's your turn to take these ideas and make them your own.
Reflect on what resonated, what challenged you.
Maybe this deep dive is just the beginning of a much larger exploration for you.
It's up to each individual to decide.
Thanks for joining us on this adventure.